Welcome to another Wannabe Entrepreneur, the podcast about what's really like to bootstrap a company. My name is Tiago, and let's get started. Today's episode is about the ups and downs of being an indie maker. If you are an older listener, you know that especially in the beginning, there were a lot of ups and downs, a lot of the roller coaster riding, if you if you will. And yeah, now since I started getting a paycheck and being paid with PodSqueeze, things have kind of settled down a little bit. We have left the turbulence zone, or that's what I was thinking. Turns out that even when you have found a certain degree of success, that success is not eternal. It changes, it varies, and yeah, Joe and I are finding ourselves again in an up and down or turbulent or more turbulent area. And I'll tell you why. When we first launched PodSqueeze in March, it was amazing. It was really the most fun because we released it and we immediately started seeing traction like we've never seen before. We for the first time felt, or I felt, that I was really catching a wave in the right time. And I've heard this expression many times about catching the wave and everything, but I really didn't fully understand it until then. Yes, we were not alone. There was this momentum, like this AI momentum of everyone trying to test these AI tools. So of course that our growth was really fast. We were growing really fast. Our growth was really strong, and in a blink of an eye, we reached 5K MRR, and then six, and then seven, and we thought, okay, this won't stop. But slowly, we started to see that our growth was still happening, but not as steep and as fast as before. Each month, it kind of felt that we were slowing down. And for a long time, I think since June, that the number of users that are visiting our website every month is not changing. We have a strategy, a marketing strategy that was working, the emails and everything, and that was kind of powering and bringing a lot of users to PodSqueeze. But we were losing the momentum of the launch that we did on Product Hunt, and even the AI trend. If you go on Google and Google Trends and search for AI, you see that there was like a peak and now is going down. It's normal. I think it's normal. Of course, when AI first appeared, it was such a hype, such an incredible thing that people were overwhelmed. Everyone wanted to see what it was like. But now AI is slowly transitioning from just being this new kid on the block to just be a tool that everyone is using, and people just they don't get excited so much with it anymore. And we are noticing that with PodSqueeze. For the past 2 months, that our growth has been really slow, and Joe and I are starting to wonder, is this going to start reversing? Because so far we have been growing, but we have been slowing down. At some point, we have churn, right? So at some point, we'll start reversing and start decreasing, and that's scary. It's really scary because it feels uh, for the first time that, yeah, maybe this momentum is not what we were expecting. Maybe we will be back to making almost no money in no time. And both for me and for Joao, those memories are just too real. This is just too soon. It's been like a few months since we came out of this life of anxiety of not being able to pay the bills. We don't want to go back there, right? Because we are really happy now. So yeah, I've been feeling a little bit that there is a little bit of demotivation. John is a bit demotivated, and he has been talking, hey, what are we going to do? Are we going to start building something else? Because he is convinced that the market is shrinking, and like people are not interested with AI anymore. And he's also raising great points, which is, hey, how do we know if it's time to move on and put Pot Squeeze on the back burner and start focusing on something else? He asked me that. He was like, Tiago, when would you decide to take a step back and start focusing on something else. I'm not saying that, well, of course, we're not going to kill PodSqueeze. It's making 12K MRR, it's still growing. We have 400 users. We're not going to kill it, but maybe spend a little bit less time on it on other things. And my answer was this, João, me talking with him. I will stop PodSqueeze in three conditions, or when one of these three conditions happen. One, I'm not feeling it anymore. I'm not happy with it. It's just boring. One great thing about this lifestyle is that I can do what I love. If I'm not loving PodSqueeze anymore, I'll just stop, working on it. Not stop, obviously, but I'll maybe reduce a bit the hours and do something else. But that's not happening. I'm still really, passionate about it. The other possibility for me to stop working on PodSqueeze is if it stops paying the bills. So now I'm really happy. I have a great paycheck. It's paying the bills. I don't have to worry. Like, that's kind of my mindset now. Like, if I'm paying the bills, if I'm saving money, more than just paying the bills, if I'm saving money, I shouldn't worry. That maybe in the future time will come where I will have to worry again and change my priorities. But so far, I don't have to change my priorities. So, uh, no, that's not the. We're not at that point anymore. We're not near that point anymore. So of course, if we're getting close and we think, okay, in 2 months we'll get there, maybe I'll start worrying. But no, we are still not near to that point. So again, that's not worrying me. And then the third reason is I forgot. I forget what was the third reason. There were three great reasons. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. Let's just go with these two, which I think they are enough. So again, not happy working with PodSqueeze, not making enough money, and yeah, there was, I guess, another one that I just forget. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling at the moment. I just want to work on this and focus. And what I've noticed that I'm going on holiday in a few hours. Yeah. And it's been really stressful this last week because we have been working on a feature that like our users have been asking this for a long time. And we think that it's a game changer, which is like converting your audio input, your podcast, into clips, video clips that you can actually share on social media. I think it's amazing. And I've been working this for a month or more. Like, it's really stressful because you need to find a great API for that. You need to do the UI, the coding, everything. It took a while, and I was so close that I wanted to release this before going on holiday, which is not a great idea because I'll be unreachable, and then it might be that there'll be problems. It's a bit stressful, but anyways, we did it. But I was 2 nights ago, I was like going and starting to work, and Joan joined in a call, and then we just spent like 3 hours just chatting about how PodSqueeze is going to die and how do we evaluate this. Then I just realized what a waste of time. This was just waste of time. Like, now we are focused on this, on building this amazing feature. We have a strategy for marketing. Like, why are we wasting time on this? We shouldn't. So the next time we try to bring it up, I said, like, let's do it. Let's just focus on this now. Let's just focus on building the video feature. I'm going on holiday, and then I don't know. After that, we can focus on whatever is troubling our minds. Um, sure, I think that's my strategy at the moment. There's these three conditions where I would decide to stop working so much with PodSqueeze. If those conditions are not applying, I'm not going to worry too much, or at least I'm not going to spiral. I will try to acknowledge the problems, come up with a strategy to fix them, and implement the strategy, and then have fun. That's basically it. So we did release the video feature. I'm really happy with it. I kind of think that's going to be a game changer and will help us grow PodSqueeze even further. But of course, that's my wishful thinking. I don't know if it will get there. But yeah, I'm going on a holiday on, I guess I told you, in the next hours. Yeah, it's a really early on flight, but I will have an episode next week. I just recorded it and it's cool. It's about how to hire as an indie maker, and I will post it on Wednesday. Automatically posted on Wednesday. I will be sailing, but yeah, the episode will be there. So yeah, thank you so much for listening and being part of my journey. If you have any questions or if you want to give some support to us, send me a message at Twitter at WBTiago. And if you want to support this podcast in particular, You can join our community for entrepreneurs. It's a Slack-based community, and we are like people from all over the world building their projects, helping each other. It's really cool, and it costs $10 per month, and you will be also, or a lot of that money will be also be invested in this podcast. That's it. That's the end. Short episode today. This was another wannabe entrepreneur. See you next time.